Good morning, world.
Good morning.
So the reason we're coming on today is, number one, for our normal comments videos that we release on Fridays. But two, we had a great request for a song by Charlie Daniels called Simple Man. We recorded that, I uploaded it, but as you can see here, it was blocked. And it wasn't just demonetized, which I expected, because some of these big artists, they don't allow you to monetize, which is fine because we were actually paid on Cash App by this subscriber to do a request or a reaction to this song. So we did it. I'm in the process right now of disputing it because I've seen other people, Cedric, they've done reactions to this song. So I don't know why they're picking on poor old Cedric and Brian.
Maybe because you're black.
We're trying it. So stay tuned. That's what we're going to do.
All right, you guys, stay tuned. I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian, and this is Cedric and Brian. What do you remember the gentleman's name who was it Ronald
Centeno,
I think. Okay.
Centeno.
We are working on that. If you're watching this show, I will get that up as soon as they unblock us. Hopefully they will unblock us. But in the meantime, we are going to do some comments because we love to read your comments. Cedric will just respond to these because I have the comments here. He doesn't. He has to work. He's not unemployed like I am. So he will hurry through this and then react to these because some of these are good and I really like them because we're going to start off right here by Houdini Air. You think they're talking about Air Jordan?
I think so.
Houdini Air? We'll see. He says, this is to Tom McDonald God Mode when we did a reaction to that. Houdini Air said, no, come to Tennessee. It's because I was telling y'all that we're trying to get Cedric out here to Tennessee. He said, I'm a Marine veteran and traveled a good bit. Still found myself coming back home in Tennessee. Once you come and stay, Cedric, you'll love it. I know you will.
I agree wholeheartedly with that. And the reason, and I know you guys have heard this before, I know Brian's getting tired of hearing it, but Brian and I were kind of in similar situations, our ages and everything. We both were Southern California boys growing up. But as you guys know, I am betrothed to be married in November. And my fiance, like me, we both have 3 adult children. 2 out of the 3 live here, close by.
Yeah, but the other one of each lives on the East Coast, so I don't want to hear it.
But Brian keeps using the excuse. I have 10 reasons why I should stay here, and 1 lives in North Carolina. So what Brian is saying is go to the 1 reason that's living there and leave the other 9 behind, which makes no sense whatsoever. But I will agree with you. I've been to Tennessee 3 times. Love it. Love it. Love Nashville.
Cedric, I'm not a reason to come to Tennessee. Wow. I guess I'm not one of those reasons.
I miss Brian's wife. I miss his sister and his brother-in-law. I miss Mike and Kim. I miss Terry. You might make the list. Hopefully soon.
Yeah,
but soon could be 2 to 3 years.
When California slides into the ocean, you'll be begging to come out here.
Right. I'll move to Arizona and I'll have some beachfront property.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Here's another one off of the same. No, this one is off of Ren. So we did Ren's 7 Sins that another person actually went on Cash App and requested, I believe. So again, thanks. Keep those Cash App and those Venmo requests coming. We appreciate it very much. This one is by Iris Benj. It might be Benjamin. My phone cuts off the rest. So it says, she says, I'm assuming Iris. I don't know. My wife has.
Don't assume gender.
She has an aunt Iris, she goes by Edie's. This song describes the emotional side of my medical story. I love it. Thank you, Ren. Can never get enough. Thank you guys for reacting to this one. Well, we love reacting to Ren. We love when you guys request Ren because he never disappoints. And it is sad because he lets you in on the pain that he went through, both physically and emotionally. So
Right.
People seem to relate to that, and he helps them, and we are happy to pass that along.
Yes. Hey, Brian, when you get to the end, I have a off-the-cuff comment I want to respond to, but I will wait until the end to do that.
Okay. All right. This one is from Oliver Anthony. We get a lot of these, and we've done a couple Oliver Anthony songs. This one says, "I want to go home too," because he talks about basically going home to the old country that we all knew before the lunatics ran the asylum. It says, "While the elites and their administrative minions do everything in their power to divide us, this man is bringing us together. God bless Oliver Anthony, these two gentlemen, and all people with whom this song resonates." That was by XRP 123. We couldn't agree more.
Yes. I could be wrong. I have been before. I think I was wrong twice in my entire life.
Wow.
But now my assumption was when Oliver Anthony made that statement, "I want to go home," I think a lot of people were saying, well, he's talking about the old country or the way the world used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of took it a little bit further, talking about his heavenly home, like leave all this stuff behind.
Yeah.
And I just want to go home. I mean, either way, and that's the beauty of a reaction, especially when it comes to music, is that everybody has different interpretations. Is anyone more wrong than the other? Absolutely not. But that's the way I interpreted it.
His subtext there is Brian is wrong, but he just didn't want to say it.
That was my favorite hashtag.
All right. This one is interesting because when we did Ren's Seven Sins reaction, the beginning of it was in I didn't know if it was a real language or a made-up language, and we learned from you guys that it was Welsh. So it was the actual language of Wales, where he is from. Now, my ignorance is because it just sits there with England, it's kind of on the border of England. I just assumed that Wales was just an English-speaking country. I had no idea that they had a separate language. I mean, I guess they didn't teach that in my history classes.
I think you ditched that day.
Maybe. But so that was interesting. So thanks, Ren, for also teaching us a new language. And thanks, Mia Jane Detton, who sent that comment on that. If you haven't watched that, go watch that. Watch. We would like you to watch other things other than our reaction videos, but go watch our reactions to Ren, because he really touches us on a lot of these songs. Yeah. Whereas Tom McDonald, he gets us fired up a lot of times. Ren kind of makes me at least go into my feels, and
right.
Sometimes that comes out on there. All right, we're gonna do one more here until Cedric does his off the cuff one.
Yes.
All right. This one is another one, just because it's one of our latest one. Another one from Ren Seven Sins reaction. This is from Strover76. It says, "I appreciate you guys for this one. Like, really appreciate you." We appreciate you taking the time to make that comment. It makes us... it gives us joy when we know that we're touching people, and even if it's just sharing somebody else. Again, hopefully you guys will watch other videos. We did one that we get into a little bit of politics. I know you guys want to stay away from politics, but maybe hearing our perspectives will give you some understanding of where we're coming from.
Absolutely.
All right, what's your off the cuff, Cedric?
That was a great segue by you, actually, not knowing what I was going to talk about. So kind of on the political aspect, bringing that Brian has ditched me and moved to Tennessee. I am stuck here in California. And for those of you who don't know, I grew up in Los Angeles, not too far from UCLA and USC. And if you've been watching the news lately, you know what's going on there, as well as Columbia University. And I just want to say something real quick about how we got to this point. This is my personal opinion. You hear a lot of these students who are protesting who say, well, we'll stop protesting once our demands are met. Who in the hell told you as a college student that you could make any demands? And this goes back, I think, to how the family structure has been torn down, how there's no leadership in the home, no men in the home. Imagine, if you will, if your 7-year-old or your high schooler or even your college age student which lives at home, which happens a lot now, came to you and said, well, you know what? I have some demands, mom and dad, that I need to have met before I do what I need to do. If you don't get your narrow ass back in that bedroom and clean your room, take out the trash, clean the dishes, and do what you're supposed to do, no one tells kids that anymore. We've completely inverted the family pyramid from mom and dad at the top, and we've completely turned it around like this. And now children think they have the right to say that I need some demands met. And you see what's going on at UCLA. It's not a normal protest. There's graffiti on the walls. There's trash. There's a fine line between a mature protest and what's going on there, which is just vandalism and being reckless. You don't get to make any demands. Your job is to go to school, and it's not our fault that you're going to get a degree in gender studies with a minor in monkeypox, and then you won't be able to get a job. And then people like Brian and I, and many of you who are listening, have to pay off your student loans, or your loans get canceled, which, by the way, they don't get canceled. They just get moved on to taxpayers. That was just on my mind, and I just want to share that real quick.
No, I like it. And it's these kids, because they are kids still. For those of you who are younger, you don't like when we say kids, but they're showing their maturity level. For one, if you go and you watch some of the people on the streets asking them about the situation going on in Israel, or just why are these people anti-American and burning American flags now, these are elite schools. UCLA is hard to get into. USC is hard to get into if you don't have the money. Columbia is hard to get into. I mean, these are supposed to be the elite schools. These kids are idiots, number one, when you just listen to them talk. And for those of you who don't know, USC, there's an acronym we have it. It's the University of Spoiled Children. These are the rich kids. These kids that go to all these schools are middle to upper class kids. They are spoiled. They probably had parents, and Cedric says it's not our fault. It is our fault. These are the kids of our generation and the generation ahead of us who have raised these spoiled children. And Cedric said, where did this happen? I mean, it happened in Berkeley back in the 60s that actually turned into domestic terrorism, where they would threaten if they didn't get their way. These are kids that don't know what it's like to make a buck. They've been pampered their whole life, and now they stand up. And my favorite is the the Queers for Palestine. And I think somebody, I can't remember what it was, offered them to pay $10,000 to have them go to Palestine, and wave their rainbow banners in Palestine in support for Palestine and see how long that lasts. They're so stupid. And it's kind of like the Chuck Schumers. I know I'm getting into politics. Who's a Jewish guy who's an apologist for Palestine, who, if he was there, would have been one of the hostages taken or killed. It's so infuriating. And the reason that we don't talk about it much is because Cedric knows I get a little riled up, and we try to keep this channel, fun as we talk about stuff. And like when we did the whole Chad stuff with the BLM and the Antifa, we tried to find the humor in it because of the idiocy. You have to laugh, otherwise you would just break down and cry because of the stupidity. I mean, it takes the drunken frat boys now to wave an American flag and be the heroes. I mean, where we come in a society where the frat boys are now the heroes, but at least it's coming. At least there's somebody willing to stand up for the American flag. It's just crazy what we've come to. And Cedric and I knew it was coming because there's another election, and this happens every 4 years, especially when Trump's been involved.
Yes. I know. I was kind of saying, I don't know if I should touch on this. It could go off the rails pretty quickly, but I'm glad we touched on that. It's been bugging me too, not just my Jewish brother here, but it's really been bugging me as well. It's just for me to end up here real quick, it's just who told these kids they had to. We've abdicated our authority as adults, as parents, and we've told
the administrators. The administrators told them.
Yeah.
Not only do they tell them that,
to make demands.
They encourage it. That's what's ridiculous. it's like I said, it's the lunatics running the asylum. It's out of control. And I think it was Shapiro who had his last headline was, defund the universities. If we can take the government money out of the universities, for one, the tuitions will have to come down, and then we won't have to forgive loans because they just need to stop paying these agitators, which call themselves professors, millions of dollars to indoctrinate these kids and not teach them anything. And we know they're not teaching them anything because when you ask them a simple question, they do not know the answer. Anyway, all right, I'm off my soapbox. Right. Wait, yep, I'm off.
I hope you guys enjoyed that comment video. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell, and continue sharing our channel with everyone you know from California to Tennessee and all around the world. We appreciate you. Keep praying for our country. Keep our country in your thoughts. And until next time, I'm Cedric.
And Brian. See you later.